Chapter 16, What I Think of the Moon Landing Now. Written September 11, 2021. When I think, it is interesting that I'm writing about this topic exactly 20 years after the 9/11 attacks in New York State. However, this is not the topic of this chapter. As the subject line indicates, I will be writing about the moon landing and what I have deduced about the possibility of this event actually occurring since I looked at the moon with Jimmy Hansen in 1969 and pictured the astronauts walking on the lunar surface. There have been several challenges to the veracity of the Americans accomplishing a manned landing on the moon as far back as 1969. No other country has accomplished this feat since then. Even with the advances in rocket design and computer advancements currently available. The details of these challenges, coming from several quarters, are readily available on YouTube. In my case, my doubts are based on the issue of distance and time. The moon is estimated to be 238,855 miles, or 400,000 kilometers from Earth. The journey there and back is alleged by NASA to have been accomplished in a total of 8 days. At present, there is a space station located 200 miles from Earth. It takes 3 days for a rocket engineered today to reach the space station, as has been demonstrated several times over the past few years. If it takes 3 years to reach a space station located only 200 miles above Earth, how is it that a rocket took only 4 days? NASA claims that it took 3 days on their website to reach the moon and land there, which is 288,855 miles away in 1969, with much less sophisticated equipment. Something does not compute. Because of these factors, it seems obvious to me that the American moon landings were faked. It appears that America was willing to perpetrate a hoax to lay claim to a victory over the Russians, who had launched the first manned spaceship, the Sputnik, in 1957. They never did any further manned spaceship because they ran out of money, not because they felt it couldn't be done. There is also the incentive to fulfill President Kennedy's vow to have an American on the moon before 1970. Providentially, his goal was accomplished on July 1st, 1969, just 6 months before the deadline. As I write this, I am overcome with distress, as another belief that I had held since my youth seems to have been false all along. FYI, or for your information, a few days ago, in August 2023, India successfully landed an unmanned spacecraft on the dark side of the moon. The flight, which lifted off in July of 2023, took 41 days for the one-way trip from the Earth to the moon. What do you think of that? Like the cow that could not possibly jump over the moon, as I figured out at 5 years old because it was too far up for this to happen, so it is that the moon was too far from the Earth to be reached by a spacecraft in 1969 and even today in 3 days. All simple deduction. Thanks for listening.